It's been 2 days in a row where we have heard Jesus speak about prayer. He's doing his catechesis on prayer. Yesterday, he taught us what we should say when we pray. That's when he taught us the Our Father. So yesterday was, what should I ask when I pray? Today, he's telling us, how should I pray? And there's a word that really stands out for me. And the word is persistence. And I think this has two meanings, or this could lead us in two directions. First, the text is telling us, if you ask for something, for a grace, and you're determined and you ask this with persistence, God will grant you that which you pray for. But I want to focus it in a different way. I think the text is also reminding us that we're also supposed to pray every day. That we have to be persistent and consistent in our daily prayer. And I know that this is a great challenge for all of us. It is easy to pray one day. It is easy to pray 2 days. Maybe when we have been to a retreat or we heard a really good preaching, we can pray for 3 days. But the Lord is telling us, if you want prayer to be fruitful, prayer has to be done in a daily basis. And that is challenging. Because prayer can sometimes be a penance. And we avoid penance. We avoid things that we have difficulties with. But this is the way I see it. Think about a plant. I'm not an expert with plants, but at some point I had my own little, I don't know what's the name in English. Huerta is in Spanish. So I have a question. What's better for a plant? To flood it once a week? Or at least to maintain it humid every day, putting at least some drops of water? And normally what plants prefer is to keep it humid with a little bit of drops, with some drops every day, than to flood it once a week and forget about it. And I think it's the same thing with our soul. It's better to be consistent with a small time of prayer every day than to do a long time of prayer but being consistent with it. So what is my advice for you? If you're struggling with daily prayer, if you're not able to be consistent with daily prayer, start with something small, but be consistent, at least with your small commitment. Ask yourself, for how long could I pray? Should I pray every day? Even if it's something small, that someone as inconsistent as me could stick with it. There's people that started with 5 minutes a day. I remember when I started with my daily prayer, I started with 5 minutes a day. And I was able to be consistent with 5 minutes. And from there on, I started growing. Sometimes people also tell me, Father, I struggle with doing my examination of conscience in the night. A lot of people, that want to grow spiritually, they say, I want to commit with my examination of conscience every night. But then they come to the confession and say, Father, I didn't follow through. I was inconsistent with my examination of conscience. What is my advice for them? The same one. Start with a small examination of conscience every night. Start with 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But remember, Jesus is telling us today, for prayer to be fruitful, prayer has to be